Hello, I'm sorry we seem to have had a glitch when we began because someone called me and interrupted the conversation. Hi everyone, those of you who are joining again. This is a conversation that we are having with Aravinth Kumarasamy of Apsaras Arts, and the idea is really to discuss Apsaras Arts tour in North America. I'm just waiting for Aravinth to rejoin. Hi Aravinth, I'm sending you an invitation to join again. Live. Sorry, Aravinth. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Uh, Arvind, I was asking you a little bit about, as far as RC is concerned, you've sort of been with it for almost 3 or 4 years now.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what it is like, firstly, for a work to really like marinate. And you've sort of showcased it in Chennai, you showcased it in Singapore to different audiences. What happens? What are the learnings from each of these? And how have you sort of edited or pruned it to showcase it to North American audiences?
So actually, first of all, what it takes is to look at the space in which it's going to be performed.
Mm-hmm.
So in Houston, we are performing it in two different places.
Right.
One is a outdoor theater, Miller Theater,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is a regular indoor auditorium. So we have
Okay.
to adapt it. I think the Miller Theater is a very large space.
Outdoor, yeah.
So we have to adapt it to the space, yeah, and also the sensibilities of what we can showcase. So what we shared in the premiere in Singapore, and then what came to Madras Music Academy, and what's now being prepared to go to the US will be slight variations. And the more you perform, thankfully, most of our repertory work over the past 15 years, we have been repeatedly performing them. So every time we perform, it gets better, like wine. Yeah.
Of
So
course.
and also we learn from all these experiences, learn from audience reactions. So we are looking forward to bringing something that has now moved on, evolved from the original work, and we are looking forward for it to further evolve with what we can see the audiences in Houston going to respond to.
Right. Talking about audiences, how they're going to respond to Arvind. So, in the last, I don't know, 15 years, like we talk so much about Bharatanatyam and its sort of perpetration in how it's really like permeated across corners of North America, right? So, what do you think about the audience itself? Like, at one point we would say audiences in Chennai. So I feel like in audiences in North America, they take their dance really, really very seriously. So, what is it like to sort of whatever, and what is your perception? I'm sure most of these dancers and presenters who are showcasing these works, they're your friends and you know them, and you probably meet them outside of North America. But what is it like for, to meet them in the country that they sort of live and create work in? And also, this whole idea of how North America has really, really become so clued into and such a great audience for Bharatanatyam itself. Talk to us a little bit about
So
that.
I think actually, as rightfully you are saying it, the Indian arts, performing arts, especially Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music, has evolved a lot. I mean, evolved a lot in North America, and today we have North American artists, not NRIs, but North American born artists who are actually come back to Chennai, are actually performing in international venues. So it's a very interesting thing. But for us, I think REC going to bring a Southeast Asian cross cultural collaborative work, which is rarely done in India, right? So we being in Southeast Asia, surrounded by all these beautiful art forms and dance forms, and we are all
Mm,
connected through the Natya Shastra being a common
mm,
thread. So
mm,
our work, what Apsaras has been always unique, is to actually tap onto that and explore that.
mm,
And that's why we get invited even in Chennai, quite
mm,
often to bring our work. And
mm,
we are hoping that the North American audiences would also see something that brings together Bharatanatyam, Carnatic music, and Balinese dance and music coming together,
mm,
the costumes coming together, textiles coming together, and common shared
mm,
heritage being brought.
mm.
So yeah, so we're really looking forward that this will be something different
Right.
for them than seeing what they could see in Chennai.
For sure, for sure. Arvind, from a content perspective, like Arisi has is very sort of rooted in the whole Southeast Asian because of the rice, right? How it unites. How do you think that work is going to resonate in North America? And I'm sure the audiences there are going to be like it's going to be a very diverse, eclectic audience. So when you performed it in Chennai, for instance, as Asians, we are watching this, where there is a sort of connect because Indians are also like, rice obsessed and especially south of India. What about North America, where you probably are going to have very diverse audiences? From a thematic perspective, do you think it will resonate the way it did, for example, when you performed it in Chennai?
I think it's a very common narrative.
Mm,
We are
mm,
talking about rice farming,
mm,
and I think rice is quite popular around the world. There's a large diaspora of not just Indians but also Asians in
mm.
America for many many
Of
years,
course.
right?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's so we are looking forward that there will be a larger audiences coming to see, and also the Balinese who are going to come to perform. They are
Right.
not. I don't think they frequently perform
Mm,
so hopefully it's a shared heritage that people are going to watch. And end of the day is a is a narrative story that anybody can relate to, right? Is
right.
so yeah. So we are hoping that it will be able to resonate well with the
Right.
North American audiences. And in
Okay.
terms of content
Mm,
depth, in terms of
mm,
music, in terms of
mm,
choreography and costuming,
mm,
so there's a lot to offer. IDC is a multifaceted production that has something for everybody who's looking for it, and that's
mm,
what we actually experienced it both in Singapore and when we came to Chennai. That
mm.
there was a lot of different things to people to look and appreciate and enjoy.
Right.
So I mean, I'm North America is not different either.
Right, fantastic. Arvind, we will talk a little bit about Mohanapriyan's solo work as well. But before I invite Ratnaji onto this conversation, I want to ask you a little bit about these presenters who are going to be showcasing their work. Tell us a bit about what is the kind of rapport Apsaras Arts has shared with Lataji, Ratnaji. I know that they're all well wishers and close friends of yours. Tell us a little bit about the presenters.
I think we have been a very close fraternity, and Chennai has been the meeting
Sort of,
point
yeah,
every year after
yeah.
year. And they have watched our performances, especially Ratna watched not the leg them on in the for the what we did on the making of Arisi, and then
Mm,
subsequently when we premiered it in
exactly.
Madras Music Academy, she was there to watch. So these are people who have been following, and for me, I have been following their work too
Mm,
because they are pioneers in what they have done in the
mhm,
USA. Gone long ago when people couldn't even spell Bharatanatyam,
mhm,
right? And so I think they have done a lot of pioneering work,
mm,
and that makes us very interesting that be able to connect with them and able to bring something. And it's something that's mutual respect, mutual admiration that we have. And of course they are all seniors to me, so I'm very very respectful of the work they have done. And being somebody also outside of India,
mhm.
in Singapore, I know the struggles it takes to actually nurture the arts.
Absolutely.
though
Yeah.
though we are in terms of flying time closer to Chennai, kilometer wise, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What it takes to nurture art form
When
from
you're
outside of
away.
being.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think
Yes.
we share common, a lot of commonality that way. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So I'm going to just invite Ratna ji to join. And honestly, like you said, Arvind, she really needs no introduction. Having sort of gone to America at a time when, nobody really even knew how to spell Bharatanatyam. So pioneering is such a befitting word for Ratna ji. Ratna ji, congratulations. You've made it. I see that you're live. I'm so happy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted you all to see the lake behind my
Oh,
house.
fantastic. Okay, we're doing an outdoor, just the way that Arisi is premiering in an outdoor venue. We are also doing an Instagram live in an outdoor setting. Welcome, Ratnaji, to this conversation.
Thank you, thank
And,
you, thank you.
just wanted to quickly, I want to dive straight into the conversation. And I want to ask you a little bit about, Arvind mentioned that you have watched the making of Arisi as well as the premiere in the Music Academy. I want
Yes.
to ask you two things. One is, what about the work really, really stood out for you? Number one. And what about Apsaras Arts ensemble productions itself that you think? I mean, we all know that, we're aware of all the many, many qualities that define them. But for you, what are they? So, as somebody who also creates ensemble work, I just wanted you to respond to these two questions firstly.
I'm going to answer your second question first. I have been attending, I've known Arvind for a very long time, and we are presenting them not just as friends. I am the artistic director of Samskriti, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. We have our
Congratulations.
gala coming up this Friday. Thank you.
Right.
And we wanted to present good programs this year to commemorate our 30 years of service to Houston Arts.
Right.
And we selected Arisi as one of the best performances to showcase. I have witnessed many of Arvind's productions. I have always been amazed at how his brain works, how he
Yeah.
is able to
All of us
think of
are.
new themes, and how he is able to um, put together various components to make them all look to put them seamlessly together in a very beautiful artistic manner. He goes all out for his productions. He's so concerned with quality, with the quality of music, the sound, and everything. And that was one of the things that I liked so much, that his productions were not like slipshod, okay, we'll do a production kind of thing, but a lot of careful thought that goes into each one of them, and the very presentation
Right.
and the discipline of his artists, the very careful thought he gives to costuming and backdrops and all those, little, every nuance of his
Yeah, yeah,
production.
for
I
sure.
have been paying attention to various things, the lighting, and I used to think, wow, this is a very comprehensively good show. So that was my feeling from the very beginning, and it has grown exponentially. When I saw the video of Arisi and I loved it, then I saw the show, and now I'm coming to your second question. What impressed me was, I
Yeah.
have lived here. Now, by the way, my dance school is celebrating its golden jubilee this year,
Yes, congratulations
50
on
years.
that. Yeah.
Thank you. So I have seen so much of dancing in United States, not just in Houston or Texas, but from all over. We present artists from everywhere. I travel, I watch, see them in Chennai, and believe in bringing actually our mission statement is being a very effective conduit between the East and the West. So we try to bridge cultural gaps. And to me, it was very important that what Arvind did was bring together two South Asian countries in a very beautiful, very artistic manner, blending their music, their dance, because we have done similar things. And I understood the motive, the reason behind this of bringing them together, not just because, oh, we also did Balis and Indian dance together, but that there was a purpose and a method in which he had created this collaboration, which was a blending, melding of two cultures. But it was so beautifully done. You did not know where the line of demarcation was between India and Bali. And for me, that was artistically extremely important, that things don't stand out as isolated pieces of work, like, oh, there's a Balinese dance here, there's an Indonesian dance here. But they
Right.
have worked together.
Yeah.
Because we've done something like this with the Ramayana, with Indonesian and Thai, Indian, Sri Lankan dancers. We did exactly this. And I really understood what he was doing and appreciated it so much. It was to me a beautiful, beautiful vision. And it
Fantastic. Yeah.
just showed that when you have an imagination and
Mm,
you believe in world art, you are
mm,
able to cross borders and you are able to present something really beautifully. Even though people may think, oh, what the heck? I say, why are you doing this? But you know that there is something there that you were seeking and that you have found it. And I loved Arisi, and I told him the day after when there was a reception, I said, the same day, I think I said, you are coming to Houston. We want to
that's
present
great. That's
this. And
great.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I'm so excited. We have found the best venue. It is the best theater in Houston, and
Mm-hmm.
it can seat thousands of people. So we are expecting a couple of thousand people at
Wow.
Arisi. I met some strange people at an event recently. I mean, strangers, not strange people, strangers who came up to me and said, oh, we come to all your shows at Miller. We'll see you on the 16th. I said, wow. And she said, I'm bringing a bunch of my friends. I was so
Great.
happy. I said, oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. So Arisi is causing waves. And I cannot, and we, not just in Miller Theater, but there's an additional performance in Houston
Mm-hmm.
for Arisi,
Yeah.
and it's in the Woodlands, which is almost an hour and a half away from us, an hour away, and they have a beautiful temple. So the Hindu temple of the Woodlands is also
Present.
presenting Arisi
Okay.
because
That's
of the
fantastic.
excitement. I sent them notes and they said, wow, this sounds beautiful. So I'm so happy that there is this, we can, now it is palpable, this excitement of wanting to present
Right.
Arisi in Houston.
Right. Ratnaji, just before we let you go, I just want to ask you one question. Why do you believe that, this sort of a cross, this exchange of the, Arvind creates work in Singapore, and of course there are dancers from Bali, and then he's worked with dancers from India, and you create work in America. And why do you believe that work that's created in another sort of setting, even though the vocabulary is Bharatanatyam or the vocabulary is Balinese dance or the coming together of them, why do you believe that work that is created in another environment, right, must be seen by folks from another environment for them to really understand thought process? Why do you believe it's crucial, and why is your role as a presenter so important, to really sieve through the ton of work that's happening and to really filter out work that really actually needs to be seen? So tell us a little bit about that.
When we become very insular, if we watch only our own productions, are only those that are created here in this city, in the state, then, your vision becomes like a tunnel vision. I mean, you're not, it is important. It is important, very, very important. If you're an artist and to grow as an artist, you need to open your mind to things that exist beyond your own parameters, beyond your own realm and elsewhere. And, you need to appreciate them, bring them so the other people can, the general diverse audiences can see this, because the audience that comes to Miller Theatre is extremely diverse. There are, Caucasians, Latin Americans, Chinese, every color, every creed, every walk of life. So it is such an extraordinarily diverse audience. They are exposed to art which is truly beautiful. What does it matter? Geographic borders don't exist. If you're a presenter, those should not exist. You need to present good, creative, beautiful art. That
Right.
is the role of a presenter. And we believe that art, no matter where it is created, if it is beautiful, it needs to be shared. Like a good book, you know, like you suggest restaurants to be
Yeah.
friends, it's exactly the same. Good art needs to be seen. And we feel this is good art.
That's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Ratna ji, for your belief in the work. And I think Apsaras is very, very excited to share Arisi in your hometown. And we bring the work with a lot of responsibility and respect for you and your work. So we are super excited that we are part of your 30th anniversary. It's a great
Yeah.
honor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank
many,
you.
many
Akila, thank you so
milestones.
much.
Thank you so much, Ratnaji. So many milestones are being marked. I'm going to be with you guys in spirit, unfortunately. I
Well,
wish also,
I wish you could
I
be.
wanted to ask,
I wish you could be
yeah,
physically.
I would. I would. The next time you bring another Apsaras work, arts work, I'm going to bug Arvind to like get me also to travel. Thank you so much, Ratnaji. You can just
Pleasure.
exit by pressing, yeah. And I'm going to now invite the next presenter. So 16th and 17th at Houston and Woodlands. If am I right with the dates, Arvind? May
Yes.
16th, May 17th,
16
and then
the
Apsaras Arts at the
yeah,
Miller
16,
Theatre.
17 Houston. Yeah,
That's right. And then you head out to Boston,
correct.
where another Bharatanatyam artist, Srija Wang, is going to be presenting a solo work by Mohana Priyan,
Yes.
who really needs no introduction in the context of Apsaras Arts. Let me just see if Srija is here. Yes. Srija Wang Srinivasan. I have never had the chance of speaking with her, so I'm really looking forward to this. Hello.
Namaste.
Mhm.
How are you?
Good, good,
Great.
Akka. How are you?
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi,
Looking
Thank you.
forward
Srija.
to.
Hi, hi, Anna. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Nice
Great.
to see
So,
everybody here.
yeah, likewise, Srija, thank you for joining. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about, your association with Apsaras Arts. And, have you watched their work? Just tell us a little bit about, what do you like about Apsaras Arts work and how does it feel to sort of present one of Apsaras Arts? It's a recent production, right, Arvind? Mohana
Yes.
Priyan's solo work. Yeah,
Yeah.
what is it like to sort of present a work that premiered in Delhi, if I'm not mistaken?
No, no, no. It has premiered in Singapore. Then it has been presented in Bangalore. It has
And
been
then,
presented in the United Kingdom, in
oh,
France, and now is coming to Boston.
okay, wow, that's fantastic. Traveling to Boston now. Shrija, tell us a little bit about, your association with Apsaras Arts and also a little bit about what it is like to be sort of a presenter.
Sure. So this is actually my first time interacting with Aravinth sir.
Oh,
We have not met before in person. I have been a long time admirer of sir's production and sir's work.
mm-hmm.
How I came to know about this, I don't remember how exactly, but sometime I don't know, a few years back, I came to know about Arisi um, through the couple of girls who are who are in Sir's
Mm-hmm.
productions. They are my guru students. So that's how I
Those are
came to
the-
know, and I was really impressed because this Sir's work, it's the concept is very unique. So it's
right.
in a sense it's a multicultural, so it threads two cultures together
Mm,
by a common theme of rice.
mm,
So I was
mm,
really quite interested. I actually really want to see Arisi. I have not gotten a chance to see Arisi. I've seen other productions, source productions like
mm,
Anuradha. Last
mm,
magazine in Chennai, I saw Anuradha, I saw Amara, and I saw another one, Nirmanika.
mm-hmm.
So Sir's work has always been very impressive, from the lightings to the quality of dance. Um, and also the themes also very unique,
Mm,
and as well as the
mm,
composition of the music, how
mm,
he kind of threads these cultures together
mm.
by incorporating music and dances from both cultures.
Right, right. Fantastic. Shija, tell us a little bit about, how long have you been in Boston, practicing and performing and teaching, and also a little bit about audiences in Boston itself. What is the kind of audience and what is the kind of audience for classical dance and classical arts at large?
Yeah, so I've been in Boston for 21 years now. So the audience in Boston, we have a good community, that's Indian classical dance community
Mm,
that are into presenting the arts,
mm,
teaching the art of Bharatanatyam.
mm,
And we also have a very diverse a group of people here, in
mhm,
the sense that we present work.
mm,
Bharatanatyam work is not just people who are within the community who come to watch it.
mhm.
We have art appreciators who come to watch these kind of shows that's outside of their culture.
Okay.
So Boston, my belief, is really like a diverse hub that
Mm,
everybody kind of come together.
mm,
Even though it's a medium kind of a city, it's smaller than Houston, it's smaller than New
mm.
York, but
Of
still we
course.
have a very diverse group of people who come to watch these cultural shows.
Right. That's great. Arvind, tell us a little bit about, from an ensemble production in Boston, you have a solo performance by Mohana Priyan. Tell us a bit about, why you chose to take this work to, to North America.
Okay, so RC
Uh,
is it's a very large work. It has about 20
Right.
over artists.
Right.
So another day, we had to, rely on getting the visas and professional visas to come for them. So it
Right.
was a bit of a short time
Challenge.
to do
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
multi-city tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having said that, Skandarasam is also part of our core repertory work. So it's
Right.
not just a one-off solo; it's a
Yeah.
repertory work
Solo.
that
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
also taken shape. And Apsaras company, we have three types of repertory work. We have small,
Right.
medium, and large.
Right.
So the medium will be about 6 to 8 dances. Large is the 20 plus, which is Arisi.
Yeah.
Then we do have a lot of solo works as well. So
Hmm.
Paramapadam is one such solo work which has
That's right.
toured very
Yeah.
extensively, and now
Yeah.
Skandarasam is touring
Yeah.
extensively. So it is a take on a very known topic, but looking at different perspectives of it. And we have beautiful music that has been commissioned for this.
Hmm. Hmm.
And again, Mona Prem is the choreographer for the
Hmm.
Bharatanatyam sections in Arisiso and many of our repertory work, and he has choreographed this. And as our principal dancer, he will be also performing their solo, similar to
Hmm.
the other works like Paramapadam that we have presented.
Right.
So in this way, this tour actually going to bring different shades of what we do,
Hmm.
the cross-cultural collaboration,
Hmm.
the large work, and then the intimate work that
Hmm.
we bring for Bharatanatyam audiences.
Hmm.
But having said that, this is not just catered for diaspora of Indian,
Hmm.
because Kandarasam has been watched
By
by
yeah. Just mentioned. Yeah.
different type of
You've been.
audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
different take on the known topic of Murugan.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. Shrija, just one thing before we let you go is really tell us a little bit about, as a presenter, I'm sure you've been presenting for many years now. What are some of the challenges? I want to ask you this question because I think it may be useful for to sort of for all of us to think about what are some of the challenges that presenters have, and is there enough happening, and what are some of the challenges that you deal with as well?
The challenging sometimes it's a little difficult to get a good response from the crowd.
Okay.
We have to be very active to kind of let people know
Promoted.
like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
happening because
Yeah.
in the city of Boston or around Boston we have a lot of artists actually come here to present their work, whether to do performances or do teach workshops. So the challenge is sometimes these things clash. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to kind of proactively trying to promote these shows that we have
Okay.
this show coming up. We have these traveling
Yeah.
artists. They're coming to present this work.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so that's a kind of a challenge I run into
Yeah.
with.
It's a real
Yeah,
challenge. All of us are running into that challenge. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. There is. Yeah.
And
I
especially
know.
with so much happening now in the month of May, so a lot of things are happening, not just one. So all the things are happening at the same time.
Right.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and
That's
actually, we are quite thankful to Srija because, even finding a proper auditorium at this month of May was a challenge. So we are
Uh,
lucky that she managed to secure a very professional auditorium. We have
that's
had a
great. Yeah.
production meeting with the technical crew. They are very, very professional. So for us, like we present at Esplanade and this kind of high-end venue. So we are very excited that in Boston, Srija has found also a very professional venue to present Skandarasam.
yeah. I didn't want to mention that because I did run into some challenges finding the auditorium
Mhm.
because such a short notice, all the
Yeah.
auditoriums are
Yeah.
booked a year in
Yeah.
advance. So it took me a while to even find a auditorium that's suitable for these
Mm.
productions.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really
That's
glad we found
great.
a very suitable venue to present Sir's work, and I really
That's
hope
great.
everybody come to watch this production. Um,
Absolutely.
definitely, audience
Yeah.
are in for a treat.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Srija.
Shija. I mean,
Thank
thanks
you
to
so much.
Arvind. I had a chance to say hello to you. Thank you so much. Hoping to stay in
Thank
touch.
you so much, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Now, Arvind, I wanted to ask you a question before I brought Lata Pada in. Is really about, when you're sort of taking work to these professional theaters in America. I mean, you used to like really presenting work at Esplanade where the standards are really high. What is it like? How is it that experience been like working with professional theaters in North America?
I think both with the Miller Theatre, I mean, all the venues that we are going to be working, they are all very professional venues. So we are
Hmm.
very actually happy that we are and thankful that is happening, because some of the North American tours in the past, what I've seen, they may not be lucky to get good venues with good
Right,
sensibilities.
right,
So I think so it's for us, it's easy to then put it onto that stage, to that venue, with the proper
right,
support that we will get, because we ourselves will be traveling not just with the performers, we also be traveling with our tech crew as well, so they
right,
need to be able to get their counterparts in the various
right.
venues that we go. So I think we are actually quite lucky that both all of them have actually made sure that we are being presented in high professional venues. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So, without much ado, I'm going to invite Lata Pada ji in to this conversation. Um, and we're going to talk to her about that's the last leg of your North American, I mean, of your tour,
Yes.
and where you will actually travel to Canada. I think she's having some trouble.
Oh,
Hello.
hi,
Hi,
Lata.
hi, Akila.
How are
Hi,
you
Arvind.
doing?
Hi.
I'm good,
So,
thank you. Yeah.
So,
This is lovely.
Akila, there's a very interesting backstory.
Yeah,
So,
please tell me.
though we
Yeah.
are not bringing Arisi to Lata's Toronto, but our collaborator, Professor Dibya, is a long-term
I,
associate with
I
Lata,
know.
and she has
Yes.
collaborated with him and done a lot of work. So we are kind of walking in her path, but of course our concept is different, our show is different. But she has a long association, and Lata also has lived in Indonesia. So it for me it's a great privilege to be working with her. And like Ratnaji, we keep meeting in Chennai and watching each other's work. I think last year she brought her work to for the Malvika Saruke's Dance for Dance Festival. We had the opportunity to watch it, and so we go a long way in terms of thinking in similar thought process. But of course, we have our own variations of what we do.
No, for sure. I just firstly want to say, Arvind, that I've had the privilege of having a conversation with her on her work with, the famous Balinese dancer, and so I'm aware of all her collaboration, her many collaborative projects. And it's interesting that you bring up the whole idea of how, in many ways, at a large level, you both think alike. So I just want to ask you, Lataji, which I've been asking everybody here, is really what according to you, as an ensemble work creator yourself, are some of the striking, sort of most striking qualities of an Apsaras Arts production?
Right. Well, I'll speak about Odyssey,
Yeah,
and I'm deeply saddened that we cannot bring it to Toronto.
right.
Next time.
Because if there was one, if there was one work that I would have loved for the audiences in Toronto to see, it
Mm,
would have been Odyssey, uh, particularly because it is such an incredibly unique uh,
mm,
production. Also, the common factor of my regard and respects for Dr. Dibya,
yeah,
who
yeah.
I worked with on the Balinese production of Pralaya.
Mm,
So let me start by saying Arasi would have been a production that we could have, we could have done at another time.
mm,
This year has ended up being an incredibly busy year because in June we're doing a 2-day festival called Momentum.
mm-hmm,
And there are many artists, including like Leela Sampson, Praveen Kumar, Neha Mondal, uh, who've all been confirmed quite some time ago. So when Arvind told me about the tour of Arisi, I said, oh my gosh, it's going to be possible because as presenters, we all have budgets,
mm,
and we all have a certain capacity. And because of our 2-day festival, which have been, the budget has been devoted to that. So, but when he said Mohan Priya could come with his solo,
Yeah.
it worked out. We found, I mean, fortunately, we have our 100-seat theater,
Mm-hmm.
which is a black box and very well equipped with the technical and production values that the work deserves to be seen in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were able to find a slot, and it worked
Mm.
out. So we're really, really looking forward to having
That's great.
Skandarasam. Yeah, and you know, Arvind and I, we so many levels. I think our vision for ensemble work,
Mm.
our vision for bringing
Mm.
the movement disciplines of two cultures together is not a cut and paste
Mm.
kind of
Mm.
uh, work practice. We both are really committed to the real synthesis and the real integration
Mm.
and the real outcome, which needs
Mm.
to show the commonalities between
Mm.
those
Mm.
cultures.
Mm.
And it comes from a very, very respectful and a very deeply conscious method of collaboration, you know.
Mm.
And
Right.
of course, fortunately, I mean, fortunate for Aravind, he lives in Singapore. So his collaboration with Bali would have been a piece of cake compared
Yeah.
to what we had to go through
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
living here. But nevertheless, I mean, this applies to all his productions,
Mm.
his all his group productions, his incredible commitment to detail,
Mm.
which includes costuming
Mm.
and even the jewelry that is newly created for each the production values. And in this case, Odyssey, I think they collaborated with the Chinese orchestra
Right.
in Singapore, and that must have been fantastic. I mean, I can't imagine how beautiful it would have been. But what I saw in Chennai
Mm.
was truly very impressive. So I think that's
Yeah.
my appreciation and respect for Arvind's work, that we
Right.
see things on the same level.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic. Lataji, I just
yeah,
want to ask you.
and also if I can add in, uh, just like Lata and her Sampradaya, even Apsaras, we have a small theater, and we also, been presenting other artists. So there's another level in which we see art, not just
Mm.
ourselves, but beyond ourselves, not just collaboration with other artists, but also presenting good work that can be seen by audiences. So there's a lot of commonality. And thank you, Lata, for your appreciation. I am actually very, very fortunate to have a great team, actually. So Mona Priyan designed all the costumes and jewelry that you are mentioning. And, he's a good, he's
Fantastic.
also has
Yeah.
choreographed a lot of the work. So he is very excited to come and perform at Sampradaya because, it is a space of a lot of respect, a space of integrity, a lot of space with a lot of high quality. So we are quite excited to bring the work there.
That's great. Lataji, I just want to ask you one question really about, as someone who's, performed, created, taught, in Canada, how have you also seen audiences evolve over the years? Right? And what has audiences' appreciation for the classical arts? How has it really grown? And I know that you have played such a crucial part in nurturing these audiences. So tell us a little bit about um, this whole journey of evolution in terms of audiences and how they've warmed up to the classical arts and also different kinds of innovation within the world of the classical arts itself.
Right. Well, I mean, we're now, I can say that I've watched three generations of audiences from the early 60s to today. So really the actual realities have changed over the time. So
Mm,
the early generation only preferred strongly classical work. And for, I think, the first two generations, they only invited Indian-based dancers
mm,
because somehow they were not supporting the local teachers
mm,
uh, for whatever reason. So the onus was on us
to really create work that was held up all the takeoffs, for good work. Firstly, it had to be good dancing. There was no question about that. The
Yeah.
technique had to be superior. And the Sampradaya Dance Academy, we are a professional training organization. So the dancers that were emerging from our training program were now becoming excellent choreographers. So we could venture into creating group work or even solo work that was something that could stand the scrutiny of audiences. We were
Right.
still struggling with exposing our work to audiences of other cultures like Western audiences. So I think it was a deep process of reflection about what are the kind of themes that we could present
That would, yeah.
that would make that would appeal to these audiences. And I think the breakthrough was in 2001 when I presented my autobiographical work, Revealed by Fire. And I think because it was such a brave and unique work that dealt with a personal history, I think it kind of opened their minds up to what were the possibilities within Indian dance. And then I went on to create work that honored the Afghan women, in a work called Sorab. And then there were a lot of works that I did with the indigenous artists. So we started sort of really exploring so many new tangential territories that I think audiences began to expect that we would do something different from from all
Yeah.
other artists. And so it's taken a while. It's taken a while to come to that stage. Today, yes, we have mixed audiences. And while we nurture younger and emerging artists, mid career artists, we're also using these ensemble productions to reach out uh, to audiences beyond Indian. But the South
Right.
Asian audience in Canada is very large in
Okay.
any case. So
Right.
they are, but still they've got to be coaxed.
Yeah.
After the marketing has to be really, really intense because many of them post COVID are happier to sit at home and
I
watch
know. I
YouTube,
know.
and
It's a
so to get
worldwide
them out,
it's a worldwide challenge, Lata.
is
We're
it?
all dealing with that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's audience building and audience, just to kind of get them to come requires a great amount of, because I think like we're not just fighting against another show that's happening, but also so many other things, people's own exhaustion, traffic, especially in India. I
Right.
speak just on behalf of,
Netflix.
getting from
We
Netflix,
have
of
to
course.
fight with
Yeah.
Netflix.
But I think what we're still working towards is having mainstream venues present us rather than
Right.
self-presenting.
Okay. Right.
We've got to be able to have them, and we've been made that breakthrough with the Markham Theatre, with the Harbourfront, where they programmed us in
Right.
their seasons.
Right.
So if you took their booklet, we were
Yeah.
in that season,
Right.
and that is something that we're all working towards. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much, Lataji. It was lovely talking to you outside of, we normally meet in Chennai, usually at the Krishna
Yes,
Sabha. It's lovely
absolutely.
to have this conversation with you, and thanks to Arvind. Really
Thank you.
looking forward to meeting you again soon, but wishing you the very best with Apsaras Arts, premiere of Skandarasam in Canada. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much again.
So,
And
Arvind,
thank
looking
you, Arvind.
forward to seeing you and
Yes, thank you,
Mohanapriyan in
Lata.
Toronto.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, Lata.
that
Thank
will
you.
be
Great
lovely.
Yeah.
honor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye for
thank you,
now.
Arvind. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
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 Thank
Okay,
you.
well, I'm just going to wind up. Yeah, I'm just going to wind up by saying that, for those who've not watched this conversation, please do watch it tomorrow when you start your day. And please make a note, all the details of the three cities the four cities actually, where the four venues where Apsaras Arts will be showcasing its work are available on Apsaras Arts Instagram handle as well as on our lab's Instagram handle. Please do head to the link in bio, purchase your tickets, and please be there. Thank you so much, Arvind, for this opportunity
Thank
to
you,
meet such
Akila.
fantastic dancers and directors.
It's been a pleasure to talk to all these great artists and presenters that I respect. Thank you for putting together this conversation,
Of course,
and
the pleasure
looking
was
forward to
entirely
seeing you
mine.
in Chennai soon.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Bye. Good night.
Bye.